You're watching the Daily Climate Show on Sky News. On today's programme, electric car company Tesla hits the brakes on cryptocurrency Bitcoin because of its climate impact. How farmers could help the environment and make agriculture more sustainable. And we meet Sami Safari, the award-winning conservationist saving sea turtles in Kenya. Hello and welcome to the UK's only daily climate news show, where we track the changes happening to our world right now and meet those coming up with the solutions. We aim to take you to the heart of the climate crisis, explain the data driving the changes that are already affecting us, but also show you just how far we've come. Now, they're one of the biggest names in the car industry and last year produced the world's best-selling electric vehicle. And now Tesla says it's not going to accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. According to the company's chief executive, Elon Musk, it's because of the impact the cryptocurrency has on the climate. Hanisha Sethi reports.
Tesla, the brainchild of Elon Musk, is a name synonymous with electric cars and clean energy. In March this year, the company announced it would accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. Now, a U-turn. In a bid to make transport more sustainable, the CEO has suspended the decision. In a tweet, Musk said, "We are concerned about rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emissions of any fuel. Cryptocurrency is a good idea on many levels, and we believe it has a promising future. But this cannot come at great cost to the environment." Analysts see the move as an attempt to assess concerns about sustainability.
There may be some sort of connection to the changing political winds in the US, but I think this is quite possibly just about an ongoing debate inside Tesla between a wing of the business that is totally connected to the sort of the Silicon Valley mindset and the other side of the business that's perhaps more connected to more responsible shareholders and the more environmentally friendly focus of the business, selling electric cars as a replacement for combustion engines.
Bitcoin enthusiasts insist mining mainly involves renewable energy. However, it can be an intense activity that often relies on electricity generated with fossil fuels. Although Tesla doesn't plan to sell any of its Bitcoin investment, it hopes to use it for transactions if mining shifts to more sustainable energy in future. Hanisha Sethi, Sky News.
Well, Isabel Asher Hamilton is senior reporter at Insider and joins me now. So how can a virtual currency be energy intensive?
Well, it comes down to how these bitcoins are mined, which is done mostly using hardware. So when someone wants to mine a bitcoin, they have to basically get a computer or lots of computers to solve lots and lots of calculations, which is very energy intensive.
But if it's renewable energy that's used, presumably that's not so much of a problem.
Absolutely. If it was all renewable energy that was being used to power these computers, that would be fine. But there's lots of, studies kind of vary on how much of the energy being used already is renewable. But there's quite a few that say that loads of the energy is coming from, like Elon Musk said in his tweet, coal and things like that. So yes, theoretically, if it was all renewable electricity, it would be fine, but that's not the reality.
And when you have a big figure like Elon Musk making a statement like this, what does that mean for the future of Bitcoin and also Tesla?
It's true that Elon Musk is a bit of a folk hero almost among sort of cryptocurrency enthusiasts, and there was a reaction. The value of Bitcoin did sink a little bit when he made this announcement. Tesla is a huge company to accept a currency that only recently started to become even a tiny bit mainstream. But, you know, Bitcoin is already worth so much more than it used to be worth. And like he said, he's not getting rid of the investment yet, so it's really hard to predict.
Isabel Asher Hamilton, thank you. In today's other climate news, new research by energy company Bulb has found households in the north of England are being put off buying greener vehicles. That's because there are far fewer charging points compared with the south. Bulb wants the government to invest in more public charging points to make low-carbon cars more affordable and accessible for everyone. Microplastic pollution found in rivers across the UK is caused by water suppliers. Data from researchers at Manchester University suggests companies are releasing wastewater into slow-moving rivers which are unable to break up the pieces of plastic. Experts believe microplastics can alter entire ecosystems and harm wildlife. John Kerry will travel to Europe for climate talks ahead of the COP26 conference. The White House has confirmed the US climate envoy will visit the UK, Italy and Germany during his trip, which starts on Thursday. It comes after the United States raised its carbon reduction targets to as much as 52% by 2030. Hundreds of people have been given the opportunity to visit wetlands to improve their mental health. The Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust and the Mental Health Foundation have launched the Blue Prescribing Scheme, which uses nature as a therapy for anxiety and depression. The 6-week course will give people the chance to stay near wetlands and take part in activities such as bird watching and pond dipping. And people on the Isle of Wight are making a feathery new resident feel at home. Chief, a rare white-tailed sea eagle, has been brought from Scotland to live at Robin Hill Nature Park as part of a reintroduction programme. Farmers need more help to secure their livelihoods and help them tackle climate change and nature loss, according to a new report from the Institute for Public Policy Research. Agriculture is responsible for around 10% of the UK's greenhouse gas emissions, but that figure is decreasing. And you can see here the estimated greenhouse gas emissions for agriculture in the UK between 1990 and 2018. And emissions for carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide are all lower in 2018, that's the blue bars, than they were in 1990, which are in yellow. And if we look at the total greenhouse gas emissions for the sector, they've fallen by nearly 9 million tonnes in that period. But much more needs to be done if the UK is to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Well, Fraser Hugill is a farmer based in North Yorkshire, and he joins me now. Welcome to you. Just how important an issue is this for you? Are there steps that you've been able to take to ensure that your farm is more environmentally friendly?
Absolutely, Anna. We're looking, part of our ethos is looking at what we can do for nature. And by definition, when we're doing things for nature, we're also doing things for the climate. But sort of importantly, we are a business as well. So what we're trying to do is also make our business more financially sustainable moving forward.
Well, yes, and the government says that it's got ambitious and far-reaching sets of investments. They say they've got plans that are designed to incentivise sustainable farming practices. But do you think that more that could be done? What kind of help could you do with?
Well, we have a lot of talk about it, and I suppose the key is going to be seeing the action over the next sort of 2 to 3 years as we go through this transition, as we sort of leave behind the European system of farm support that we've had since the 1970s and move into a payment for public goods support system that is making all the right noises to help us do that. But like I say, it's going to be the action on the ground in terms of both the financial, but also the sort of cultural change that hopefully we can embed. And
do you agree that farmers could do more?
There's no point sort of denying that. We work within a certain environment. I think we live with that. We live with climate change more than anybody else. My business is impacted by the weather and ultimately the climate every year. It's very stereotyping, but that's probably one of the main things we talk about. So, but yeah, there is more that we can do. We're on a journey. I think we're at the start of what could be quite an exciting journey in terms of the measures to tackle both climate change and nature recovery. I think when we talk about climate change, we've really got to talk about nature recovery as well, because there's a huge task ahead in terms of that.
Fraser Hugill, good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Watamu Marine National Park on Kenya's coast is home to more than 600 species of fish and 7 species of turtle. But increasing tourism, high unemployment and a surge in illegal fishing are putting them at risk. Now, one man's efforts to help communities manage the ecosystem more sustainably has been rewarded with a prestigious international prize. We'll hear from Sami Safari shortly, but first, here's why he's saving Africa's sea turtles.
5 of the 7 different species of sea turtle can be found along the Kenyan coast. Under threat from bycatch and poachers who illegally sell them for meat and oil, Sami has worked tirelessly to convince fishers to stop taking turtles, turning poachers into protectors.
And Sami Safari joins me now from the Watamu Marine National Park. Sami Safari, huge congratulations to you. Tell us more about how your project works.
So I'm Sami Safari. I work for local ocean conservation in Watamu, Kenya, that's the Kenyan coast. I lead an anti-poaching team, and I'm also in the community development team. So in general, I do work so closely with the fishers community. And in the fishers community, I do education and awareness, talking to members of the local community, the importance of nature and everything. So, and the whole marine ecosystem.
Why is it so important to you to do this work and to protect the marine ecosystem?
It's really good for me to do all this work because it helps us have a resource that will be beneficial for the present and the future generation.
Sami, how are you going to spend your winnings?
With the weekly fund, this is mainly to support conservationists working so closely with local communities from the grassroots to benefit wildlife and the habitats and even people. So with my funding or the award I've already got from Weekly, which I'm really, really thankful, I'll use this one to improve governance. I'll also use it to increase conservation and biodiversity, reduce illegal poaching of both fauna and flora. Last but not least, financial management and monitoring in community groups.
Sami Safari, thanks very much indeed. And that's everything from us for today. Coming up tomorrow, how Cornwall could hold the key to the UK's green energy future. Thanks for watching. See you then.